Okay, now I want to tell you about safe hearts. So first I'm going to give you the scary lowdown. Did you know that 70% of women and men who have been sexually assaulted, it has happened before the age of 17 years old? Doesn't that break your heart? You know, the amount of trauma that boys and girls have been through who have been what I call touched, for a kinder way to say it. It doesn't need to happen, but because of the evilness in the world, it has. But what can we do about it? Okay, let me tell you, because you know what? Here's the scary statistics. Let's change that. Prevention. Let's do it by prevention. Let's do it by teaching our kids, our grandkids, the kids we love, our students. Please teach them that they are important, that they can say no. Give them power. Teach them about tricky people. So how do we do this? I have the answer for you. We have, us here at Damsel in Defense, we have what's called the Safe Hearts, our Safe Hearts line. Our Safe Hearts is intended to teach our kids to protect their minds, their hearts, and their bodies. They are taught to recognize tricky people, whether it's tricky friends, tricky relatives, family members, tricky strangers, and also to recognize tricky adults. To be empowered to say no. To be empowered to leave the situation and then find a trusted adult. A trusted adult that they can tell what happened. And we have what it takes to understand how not to shame your child. And also we're teaching them that to listen to their body signals, that pounding heart, that funny tummy. You know, us adults might call that intuition, but kids haven't learned that yet. But to listen to that heart signal that tells them that they need to leave the situation. They need to say no. They need to do what it takes to get out of the situation. Because by staying in, they might lose a piece of their heart. Now, if a child loses a piece of their heart from a tricky person, you know what? There is hope. There is hope that piece of their heart can be found, and it can be placed back, and it can be stitched back into place. That scar will always remain, but that gives them a special gift to recognize other children who are hurting and to be helpful, to help them, to be a heart defender. So now let me show you what makes that job for you much easier. Because you know, it's easy enough for me to tell you what we could teach our kids, but how, right? That's the hard part. I have the answer for you. Okay. We have our Heart Defender books, our Safe Hearts books. So for you to make your job easier, here is the parent guide. Look at it. It's a short little book. It doesn't look like there's much in it, but this little book is a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse of information to guide you in teaching your kids how to protect themselves and to avoid trauma in their lives. And also to be alerted for other kids who are going through trauma. You know, and of course age appropriate. But we know what teens go through. So things, for example, signs of abuse. One of my favorite chapters is how not to shame your children. It's so easy for us as parents and the way that we've been taught through the generations to respond when kids approach us with certain things. What not to say and how not to say it. because that's easy to just roll out of our tongues. But now, by reading that chapter, just a few pages long, we would be ready to respond to our kids appropriately. Another favorite chapter of mine is role playing. I love the chapter of role playing. I've done it with my grandkids many times, and it has actually done a lot to help protect a grandchild who is in a tricky situation. So yes, the parent guide and the role playing to help protect your kids and fortify what you're teaching them. And by playing the what if, or you guys taking on different roles, you find where they don't really have the answers to that situation, and then you have the opportunity to fix it. Okay. We have a book for toddlers. And we also have 10 books. Each book is a situation where a child from 4 all the way up, I think at least through middle school, if not older, finds himself in a tricky situation and learns how to get out of that situation. And of course, while they're learning it, so is your child. Isn't that awesome? And there's more than one concept in each book. Each book is just rich in all the different things that they learn. This is probably one of my most favorites because my grandkids are little. I love this book. This book is on grooming. And it also includes the concept of not keeping secrets, especially secrets that you're supposed to keep from your parents. So this is a great book to fortify when you want to teach your kids that we do not keep secrets, because we also know not only is that a wrong choice for them to make, but it's also a way groomers can get control of your children. So fun, beautiful pictures. The stories are intriguing. For the little ones, I recommend just telling the story and then flipping the pages and looking at the pictures. It is very effective. That is what I do with my littles. And it's made such a big difference. So in each, like I said, in each story, they find themselves in a situation. And here is our heart defenders. Dun, da, da, da. Because you know what? All good stories have to have what are heroes. They're not superheroes. They're just regular kids like your kids. But they love to defend kids from tricky people so that they don't lose a piece of their heart. So these kids hang out at Safe Heart Central, and when there is a tricky situation, it comes through on their big screen, and they all get together, and we need to help them make the right choice. When we say something tricky, there's only one thing to do. We take action, because we are the Heart Defenders. And then one of them, this is Faith, runs to the rescue to talk to that child, to help them make the right choice and to be courageous. And the books definitely use those words over and over to help your child make the right choice and to be courageous and to be brave. And when your children learn the concept, they can get their picture right here. And you can put their name in it to help fortify it. We also have Heart Defender badges that they can wear. We also have things like a lunchbox and puzzles. And we have a game. Highly recommend this game. This game is for you and your children, or the other children that you love, because it's question based. So my grands are pre-readers, so I read the questions. So it might seem a little hard since it's question based and they don't always understand, but they love the game and they ask to play it over and over. It's a very high quality, beautiful board game with transporters and dice and a spin wheel, all the things kids love most about games. And what I love most about this is that there are parent questions and Heart Defender questions. And so when we have questions, we have to answer them and we have to be honest. It's building a relationship between you and your children so that if something happens and they need to come to you, you know what? You've already built that trust with them and they know to come to you and that you're going to listen and you're going to understand. And it's not all scary stuff. You know, there's fun questions like, oh no, you forgot to fill the gumball machine at Safe Heart Central. Go back 2 spaces. 2 important questions that you're talking to your kids about. Like, you know, you let the next door neighbor babysit your kids while you were in a hurry to run out the door, but you didn't ask them and get to know them very well. Move back 3 spaces. You know, to the kids, you know, you talked your friend or you helped your friend tell a trusted adult when someone was being tricky. You know, move ahead 3 spaces. To, oh, your mom told you to never go through that alley and you did. To explain to your mom or explain to your trusted adult why it's important to not go into those places. Something like that. I'm very much paraphrasing it, but there is one or close to one of the questions. So I highly recommend it. So that's Secret Gift of Grace. And like in the books, like I think I already mentioned it, the youngest character is 4 and one of the heart defenders is 4, and then it goes all the way up to big kids. So your kids will grow with these books. Even if you read this to your 3, 4, and 5-year-olds and just tell the story, as they get older, they can read the books for themselves now that you've already gone over it with them. And you know what? They're going to understand more and more as they grow up. So they are not, it's not a read once and done. This is a grow up with book because they will grow with their knowledge. You know, and we've got books for, you know, that have girls. We also have books that have boys because, you know, as the center person, because you know what? Things happen to boys too. Sad, but true. And then here's our book of hope. Remember at the beginning of the video, I talked about there being hope. Here is our, what I personally call the book of hope. So this is the book that, see this young lady? She is Simon's sister. Simon's one of our heart defenders. So he spends lots of his time defending the hearts of other kids. But she is what I call touched. She's already been touched and she's going through the trauma and the pain and the hurt from that. And it's changed her. And she's got such strong barriers. But the heart defenders get together. In fact, Tomas right here, he's the little one. He remembers that his aunt is a talking doctor. And so kids, and you'll recognize kids from the other books. It's so much fun. But the kids get together and they all talk about their experiences and she listens. And in the end, she starts feeling that her missing piece of her heart is coming together and going to be stitched up, because that's what she's been searching for throughout the book, is her missing heart. So there is hope. There is. All right. So I highly recommend Safe Hearts. You know, please contact me if you want any more information. I'd always be happy to go over the individual books and help you to make the best choices for you and your family and the kids in your life. All right. In power.